Well, hello again and welcome to Love at First Bite. I'm Kamsala Naidu.
And I'm Kubesha Naidu, and we have some wonderful, wonderful kebabs for you today.
We have a kebab chutney.
Yes.
And basically kebabs made from scratch. Nothing beats homemade Durban kebabs. And today our partner in crime is all the wonderful Mumbai Spiceworks goodies that we're going to be using to make our fresh mince kebabs in a chutney. But before we get cracking, I want to tell you that I've got rice on the boil. And Kubesha, you want to tell us about our beautiful Golden Throne Sela Basmati rice?
Well, it's their own home brand, right?
Yes.
And it's wonderful rice. It cooks separately, it cooks wonderfully, it cooks easily.
Just the most beautiful rice, cooked separately all the time. It's almost ready. And we did discuss in one of our other videos how people still have problems boiling rice. And basically all we do is we put a cup of rice in here, we've put a teaspoon of salt, and we've covered it in boiling water and brought it up to a boil.
Yes, and they've been separately harvested, very nicely harvested.
All
and
even
selected.
grains,
Yep.
absolutely beautiful, no broken rice, etc.
Nothing at all.
So the finest, high quality basmati rice, and also it's definitely one that's recommended by the Heart Foundation and the Diabetes Foundation.
Okay, so what other ingredients do we have?
So to run through very quickly, I have some beautiful lamb mince, and this mince is from my favorite butcher, Longbury Meats.
There we go.
I've got some chopped coriander or dhania. I've got some beautiful chopped onion. I've got lovely garlic. I've got some beautiful chopped chili, green chili at that. I've got some curry leaves and some mint leaves. And last but not least, some tomato paste.
There's
Of course, we've
salt,
got salt.
obviously.
And I have chopped up some tomatoes. And these are 6 large tomatoes to make our tomato chutney.
So for those people sitting there thinking, hey, what am I doing here? This. It's
You
off
did
air.
all the
It's
chopping.
done beforehand. So it doesn't look like I do nothing because I stand there and smile at my beautiful wife doing all the cooking. I do all of this.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Right, are we ready to get cracking?
Yes. So
Okay, I'm going to start with the chutney first because while this is simmering on low, we're going to make the mince kebabs because, of course, the chutney needs to be ready before the mince kebabs started. But let's start with some oil in the pan. So there you go. I have got some oil in the pan, and this is to cover the base of the pan. Remember, with the chutney, you don't want to be too sparing with the oil. But at the same time, I'm just going to put that on low, all right? There we go. And then I've got onion here. And I'm going to be saving some of this onion for the kebabs. So there you go. I've got a large onion, which I've stuck in there. I'm going to
this
turn
is
up the
our
heat.
very own Durban kebabs.
Right.
It's got some heat in it.
It certainly does. Can you start to stir fry this? And I'm going to
Yes.
keep adding stuff in here. So there we go. I've got some beautiful curry leaves, and I'm going to sprinkle maybe about 12 curry leaves in there. And you're going
It's
to be
entirely up to you. It depends on your taste.
right. And then I've got the most beautiful, beautiful lean mince. And in a couple of minutes, I'm going to come to this, and we're going to be adding all of our herbs and spices and dried spice into this bowl here.
Aren't we doing the chutney?
Yes, we are doing the chutney. And of course, there we have the tomatoes. And into the tomato, just while that is sauteing, I'm going to be putting in, I would say, a quarter cup of tomato puree just into my tomatoes. So you find that when you're using tomato puree, it's such a rich and beautiful color. It also is a lovely thickening agent as well for your chutney. So there you go. Just give this a little bit of a mix. So those tomatoes are ready right there. But we're not going to add that in too soon.
We're waiting for the onions to get translucent.
There you go. So while that is happening, I'm going to run through my bag of goodies here, my golden spice. So I've got mutton and chicken curry masala here. So I'm going to be using some of this, the Mumbai Spiceworks mutton and chicken spice. And then, of course, one of my favorites is the Rombo Rossi. So there's the Rombo Rossi masala, also the Mumbai Spiceworks. Beautiful, full flavored, full bodied. So you're getting an absolutely beautiful aroma, a lovely color. packed with flavor, but at the same time, it's not going to be over hot, all right? But because we like hot, we're Durbanites, and it's still winter. So I am going to be using some Kashmiri chili powder.
It's hidden right at the bottom.
There you go. I think you hit that, right? And look at the beautiful color. This is going to give our chutney such a lovely color. And I'm not going to add any of the powdered chili into the mince, but we're rather going to flavor our chutney with it, all right? So I'm going to be using these 3 bags, and basically I'm going to use a teaspoon of the Kashmiri chili powder. I'm going to use a teaspoon of the mutton and chicken mix because it's my absolute favorite. As you can see, the pack is almost empty. And then I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of this Rombo Rossi masala. So there you go. How's our onions looking?
It's getting semi-translucent.
Right, so that's fine. How's our rice doing there?
Is it on?
Yes,
Oh,
it's actually
this
come
is
to the
good.
boil, and I'm just simmering it on low so that by the time we serve it, it's going to be absolutely
Okay, it's
piping
simmering.
hot. So there's my 3 spices. But while I'm waiting, I'm going to get this ready for you to add in. And as I said, 1 teaspoon of my mutton and chicken spice. Then I'm going to go Kashmiri chili powder, 1 teaspoon. Remember, whenever you're using chili powder, you've got to be pretty careful because it's not the same as mixed masala. It can be very, very spicy. So there we go, 1 teaspoon of the chili powder. And last but not least, that's a lie, there's my Rombo Rossi, and I'm using 2 teaspoons of this, all right? So there you go, 2 teaspoons of the Rombo Rossi. Look at the color, moist and beautiful, 2 teaspoons of that. So this is my masala that I'm going to be adding in very soon. So I'm done with these masalas. Right, so that's looking absolutely beautiful. Well done.
Have I gone fat recently? Because
And
your elbow keeps hitting my stomach.
I think that maybe, I'm not sure, and I'm not one to decide whether you're fat or not. You know your own body. All right, so guys, a teaspoon of beautiful crushed garlic. And this as well I get out of the bottle at the Mumbai Spiceworks. Wholesome, fresh, minimum preservative just to keep the shelf life. So there you go. I've got that on. I've got some fresh crushed green chili here. And also this, if you're not in the market to go shopping or grow it in the garden, you can get fresh chili at the Mumbai Spice. I'm going to drop some chili in there. I've got garlic in there. I've got chili. Going to mix it very swiftly when this happens because you don't want it to scald. You don't want the garlic to scald. That's looking beautiful. It's translucent, lovely. I'm adding my dry chili and my masala. And Kabi, you're going to mix that swiftly. You're going to turn it around. You're going to toast all of those spices in with our onion, our garlic, and our chili. So you know whether you're toasting it nicely because you're going to find that, I'm going to give you a towel to hold that pan. Right, so there's no dark bits. You are going to mix it quite vigorously, moving it around. There we go, that's beautiful. And now, as easy as anything, we're adding in our tomato paste and the puree, and you're going to give that a good lovely mix. Just going to scoop out all the last bit. Beautiful tomatoes. And of course, you know, in Durban we get jam tomatoes, but you could use canned tomatoes if you want to as well.
Jam tomatoes only in Durban?
Well, it's very easily available in Durban. So I'm adding some of my salt with a teaspoon all over the base of the entire pan. And of course, it is very nice if you want to add a little bit of sugar, which I'm going to get.
Yep, and whilst you're doing that, the reason I'm wearing this shirt is that I heard that this color is a very feminine color, and it is Women's Month.
Yes.
Power to the woman.
Right, so I'm adding a little bit of sugar over the top. Remember that sugar,
1 teaspoon.
no, half a teaspoon, just a sprinkle of sugar, reduces the acidity. And if you have some lovely brown sugar, that's also beautiful. Gives your chutney a lovely, sweetish kind of tinge. So that is beautiful. Can I just jump in there? I'm just going to see that the edges are not burning. This is going to simmer on low. And do you see that we didn't puree the tomatoes like we did for the fish curry? Here we are chopping the tomatoes. We want them chunky. We want a wholesome, wonderful kind of gravy for those kebabs to sit in. And that is our tomato chutney. Okay, so we've got a kilo of the lamb mince. As I said, it's all beautiful, fat-free, long-berry mince. We're using lamb mince, and you can very well use whatever kind of mince you want. But we prefer lamb kebabs with chutney. And there you go. So this is super easy, right? So you're going to keep mixing, and I'm just going to keep adding ingredients. But I see you moved my garlic away, so I need everything on this side. So I'm going to start with a teaspoon of salt. And there you go. I'm going to give that a lovely mix, adding a second half a teaspoon. So there we go. I've got lovely fresh garlic, but remember I've got a lot of dried spice, which I'm still adding. So I'm going easy with this, just half a teaspoon of that. I've got my lovely chopped chili.
I washed my hands.
No, you don't want the chili on your hands yet, right? So there we go. Heaped teaspoon of
okay.
chili and a second one. So 2 teaspoons of crushed green chili. I have got some beautiful mint leaves here. And look, you can chop it up, but I'm just literally tearing it in here, taking out the little stalks. So we've got a beautiful lot of green. Right, here's my onion, raw onion, throw that in there. I've got an egg, which I've beat up in here, and I'm going to be pouring in 1 small egg into my mixture. Right, then I've got my lovely coriander or chopped. It's one of our favorite ingredients in here. So as you can see, I'm using at least a whole half cup of chopped coriander. And
why the egg?
Why the egg? Well, the egg is a binding ingredient, and if you don't want to use an egg, you could actually use a mashed potato instead. So, but an egg is easy. Now I go to all the magic ingredients, and remember, you're going to be very, very frugal with dried herb, because dried herbs are very, very pungent, beautiful. For whatever the reason, when dried herbs when herbs are dried, they end up becoming a little bit more potent. So this is not even a 1/4 teaspoon. This is a pinch of dried herbs.
Serious?
Yes. I've got some beautiful basil, as you like to say, basil. Also here,
That was my friend.
pinch. And let's go in there.
I called him Basil, I would have got egg.
Right, so here I've got lovely crushed dhania. Now don't go easy with the dhania, because I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of beautiful crushed dhania. The smell is amazing. All right. Then I've got some lovely onion powder. And of course these are so beautifully made. Oh, smell that. Not too close. Right, there's my onion powder. Half a teaspoon of onion powder in there.
You're really tiring.
I know. Then I did put a pinch of fresh herb, but I'm adding some mint. There you go. Also here, easy with the mint. A pinch of mint.
Sure.
I've got crushed black pepper. And I just want to tell you that if you decide not to shape them into kebabs and you want to make these as, this is your crushed black pepper. I'm doing a really flat teaspoonful.
Make them as what?
I've got, yes,
making kebab.
garlic powder. If I don't use them as kebabs, I make hand-pressed burgers with them and just put them on the grill, and they're absolutely beautiful. This is the most divine smelling garlic powder. Half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I've got some lovely ready-made garlic and herbs. So if you want to just go the shortcut, do a pinch of this. Remember, it's salted, so be mindful of not adding too much of salt when you're adding that in particular. There's my beautiful peri peri. And this is a peri peri spice. Oh, smells divine. I'm adding half a teaspoon of that. And last but not least, some oregano. Oh, it's lamb. Lamb loves oregano. Pinch of that. And I've got one bag lying on the side there. Can you pass that to me?
What's that?
It's the thyme. Now, thyme is such a versatile spice. I mean, you could just do butter and thyme in your lamb. Little pinch of it. This is going to go a long way. In fact, this amount here will probably last me an entire 6 months of use, because you have to use it so frugally because it is so potently flavorful. So that's all done. You're going to give that a really good mix. Right, so here goes. Are we ready?
Yes.
Okay. You've done a really good job
I know, I'm very
of
good.
mixing this up. So what you're going to do now is you could use an ice cream scoop to get all even sizes.
Oh.
And if you look here, it's all the beautiful onion, the herbs, all added in. So here goes. I'm going to turn on the heat, and Kabesh, you're going to scoop them with that. Remember that lamb reduces a lot. So be mindful that you don't make them too small, because they're just going to be horrible. If you're doing it as an hors d'oeuvre and you want to do really small little kebab, stick a skewer in it, that would be it would be a bite size. But for this kebab, we can actually go larger. Right, here it goes. So we're going to scoop very quickly.
Okay.
Yes, and you can add it directly into the heat. So there you go. Lovely. Do you see how easily it's binding as well? And that's the egg, right? So just be mindful that you you actually squash them together really nicely.
Must be
Beautiful,
hard,
clean hands. Yeah, because otherwise they'll just open. But if it does open, don't stress too much, because you're just going to throw it into the chutney. So I've given them one little fry on the one side. I'm going to turn them over the other. You wouldn't stress about this being cooked through. We're really just coating the outside of them. So if you wanted to, you could actually just dunk them, into a little pot of boiling oil. Just seals the outside. But your shallow fry is also pretty easy, very nicely controlled. So can I ask you just in the meanwhile to, how's the smell of this?
Very nice.
You're getting the smell of all those herbs and those flavors. If you can check that chutney that's cooking on low, because as soon as that's done and it's a lovely thick sauce, we're going to layer the kebabs in there. Be careful to scoop it all around so the edges don't burn.
Looks like it's done.
Oh, that's beautiful. Lovely and chunky.
There you go.
All right. So there you go. These are almost done.
So
They're
that
just,
closes?
yes. We're just getting one more fry on the one side, and that'll take another 5 minutes, and then we're done. All we're doing is we're picking up our lovely kebabs, which have been beautifully fried. I'm not even draining them too well. I'm just sticking them into the chutney. Remember, it's got a lot of the fat that is sizzling in, so hence I haven't drained them too well. But if you are using these to serve with some yogurt and you want to use it as a starter, then you go smaller and you will also drain it better. All right, so there goes. We're just going to find some space for them. I'm going to turn the heat off on this one. And last but not least, I've got the lovely remainder of the curry leaves, a couple of mint leaves in there, and I am going to get some chopped coriander over the entire chutney. That is going to simmer on low for approximately 5 minutes, and we're ready to eat.
Yum, yum.